Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel. So we'll be making this off-shoulder sided gathers dress. I got inspiration from this person on Instagram. So here's mine after making with little alterations. Like the back of the original dress is a little lower and the off-shoulder is not the same as theirs. So kindly like, share and subscribe to the channel. So here now we're starting by drafting on our pattern paper. So firstly, we're going to be taking away 5 inches. That's going to be representing the off shoulder. And then we're going to take our chest measurement, which I use 8 inches for mine. My bust point, which I use 10 inches for mine. Advice, not even advice, use your own measurements where exactly you want yours to be. Measure it and then know what measurement is supposed to be there. So I took my chest measurement, my bust point, my waist and my upper hip measurement, and then I later took my hip measurement. So I advise you also take your hip measurement and connect all your dots together to make accurate measurements for your pattern paper. Yeah. So I was just labeling it here: the bust point, the chest point, the bust point, and the waist, and then the upper hip. So after we've done that, we go to our shoulder and measure our shoulder divided by 2. So I use, mine is 15 inches, that's 7.5. Then after that, I'll take away 1.5 inches. So I'm going to be measuring 6.5. And then after that, I'll just connect that to the chest measurement using a curve, armhole ruler to curve it. So after we're done, we're going to go ahead to take our dart measurement. Mine is 4 inches. I use my nipple to nipple to get my dart measurement. So since my nipple to nipple is 8 inches, I divided it by 2 to get my dart measurement. So you're going to take your dart measurement from your bust point to the lower part of the dress. That's what you're going to do. So yeah, I was just trying to dot it so I'll be able to get the straight line since my ruler is not so long. So after we're done, from our bust point, we're going to take away 1 inch. So that's where that is going to start from. So then we'll go to our waist and take 1/4 inch on both sides. And then we'll go to our upper hip and take 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch on both sides. And then you take 1/2 inch downwards to the end of the dress. So then we connect our dots, all our dots together. Then we'll connect the remaining to the end of the dress. Then from our dart is starting from that 1 inch from under the bust, we're going to connect it to our wrists on both sides. So after you've done that, then you could take your body measurements. So you go ahead to take your bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then you go to your waist, you take your waist measurement divided by 4, then you add the dart allowance you left. So mine is going to be 1.5 plus your 2-inch seam sewing allowance. So after that, you go to you add your hip measurement to the, I originally said at the beginning to add your hip measurement. I didn't add mine, so I'm just adding it. You add your hip measurement to it, and then you take your hip measurement divided by 4 as well, plus your 2-inch sewing allowance. And then you add your 1 inch as well, and then your 2-inch sewing allowance. And then you connect all your dots together. So after you've successfully done that, you go ahead and take 5 inches from your upper hip measurement. So I think I forgot to mention your upper hip measurement is 19. Make sure you take yours. It's just an inch below your navel. An inch below your navel. That's your upper hip measurement. So after you've done that, you're going to take 5 inches after your upper hip measurement. Take 5 inches downwards. Kindly like, share, subscribe, and comment. And then you go ahead to your upper hip. So from your upper hip, you measure 2 inches. That's your seam allowance. And from that 2 inches, you're going to be connecting it with a curve ruler or with a curve to your dart measurement. So you're just going to connect it. That's where your gathers is going to be. So after that, you're just going to cut on your pattern paper. So when you're cutting, you're going to make sure to cut the darts away. And then this is what is going to be left, the side from your upper hip to your hip measurement. So from your hip measurement, you're just going to take a straight line down to the end of the pattern paper. So mind you, this pattern paper is not my exact length or the length of the dress I made. So I added the extra length to the dress white cotton. So here we're going to be doing a slash and spread method for this. So I measured 1.5 inches in 5 places. So I just drew straight lines for 1.5 inches all through. Then after that, you cut and make do your slash and spread method. That's going to be on the fabric. So I just put it to this side. I didn't actually pieces it. So next we're going to be cutting the sleeve of the dress. So to get the sleeve of the dress, you're going to take the circumference of your shoulder divided minus the actual measurement you already took, and then what is left you're going to divide it by 4. Then you take that divided by 4. Then you take the length of the sleeve you want. I used 3.5 by 1.5, and then we connect it together. Then at the end where your sleeve is reaching, where the sleeve ends, you're going to add an extra 1/2 inch so that it's going to be very comfortable when you after you sewn the dress. So after you've done all of that, that's the sleeve. So make sure to calculate very well the circumference of your shoulder minus, you remember, minus the back, and remember you took away 1.5 inches. So you make sure you also take away that 1.5 inches from what you're measuring. So I'd advise you go ahead to measure what you have on your pattern paper, then you divide it by 4, and that's how you get the sleeve of the dress. Thank you for staying tuned.